Welcome to the Captain English podcast. I'm your host, Paul, and I'm super excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Alice, your co-host. It's great to be back, Paul. How's your week been so far?
It's been pretty good, actually. I had a really interesting experience yesterday. I was waiting for my coffee, and the person next to me just started talking about the weather. You know, typical small talk. But it led to a really nice, short chat. It got me thinking about how often we shy away from those simple interactions.
Oh, absolutely. That's such a relatable story, I think, for many of our listeners, especially those learning English. That situation can feel really intimidating. Like, how do I even start? Or what if I say the wrong thing?
Exactly. And that actually brings us perfectly to our topic for today. We're going to dive deep into how to start a conversation with strangers in English. This is such a crucial skill, not just for improving your language, but for building confidence and making connections.
It really is. And we want to break it down into very simple, actionable steps because it doesn't have to be scary. It can actually be quite fun and rewarding.
Right. So, Alice, let's kick this off. What do you think is the biggest hurdle for people when they're trying to talk to a stranger, especially in a new language like English?
I think it's a mix of fear and overthinking. Fear of making a mistake, fear of being judged, or even fear of not understanding the other person. And then the overthinking part is, what's the perfect opening line? Or what if they don't want to talk to me?
Yeah, that fear of rejection or awkwardness is huge. But here's the thing. Most people are actually quite open to a friendly interaction. They just don't initiate it themselves either. So, taking that first step can actually be a relief for them too.
That's a fantastic point, Paul. It's like everyone's waiting for someone else to break the ice. So let's talk about the why. Why should our listeners even bother starting conversations with strangers?
Well, the benefits are huge. First, it's incredible English practice. You get to use real-world English, not just textbook phrases. Second, it builds confidence. Every successful small interaction makes the next one easier. Third, you can actually make new friends or network, which is amazing. And finally, you get to learn about different perspectives and cultures.
All true. It's like a mini adventure every time. So, if we acknowledge the fear and understand the benefits, what's the very first practical step someone can take?
The absolute first step is to observe and smile. Seriously, it's that simple. Before you even open your mouth, just make eye contact, a soft, friendly one, not intense, and offer a genuine smile. It's universally understood and shows you're approachable.
Oh, the power of a smile is underrated. It breaks down so many barriers. And it gives you a tiny confidence boost, like, okay, I did something.
What about an actual opening line then?
Right, the actual words. I always tell people to focus on their surroundings. This is called a situational opener. It's the easiest because it's about something you both share in that moment. For example, if you're in a coffee shop, you could say something like,
"This coffee smells amazing, doesn't it?"
That's perfect because it's low pressure. It doesn't require a deep personal response. Other examples could be, wow, it's really busy here today. Or, if you're at a bus stop, do you know if the number 7 bus usually runs on time?
Exactly. Or, if you see someone with a really cool t-shirt, you could say, "That's a great shirt. Where did you get it?" Or even, "I love that band." It's a genuine compliment, and it connects to something visible. The key is to keep it light and not too personal.
Yes, absolutely. Avoid anything too personal right away. No, what's your life story just yet? And try to make it an open-ended question if possible, so it invites more than a yes or no answer. Like, instead of, is it busy, try, how busy is it today?
Great point. Open-ended questions are like magic for keeping conversations flowing. Another good category is asking for simple information or help. For instance, if you're in a store, "Excuse me, do you know where I can find the milk?" Or, "Has this line always been this long?"
People generally like to help, so asking for assistance is a really gentle way to open a door. and it gives you a clear reason to talk. Once they answer, you can follow up with a, "Thank you so much," and maybe a quick observation like, "It's my first time in this store, it's huge."
That's brilliant, Alice. It transitions from a functional question to a more conversational one. Now, let's talk about body language, because that's just as important as the words themselves. Especially when you're speaking English and might be a little nervous about your accent or grammar.
Oh, it's huge. Having open body language means not crossing your arms, keeping your posture relaxed, and facing the person you're speaking to. If you're slumped over looking at your phone, it sends a signal that you don't want to be disturbed.
Exactly. An open posture, a friendly smile, and making eye contact are your best nonverbal tools. They say, "I'm friendly, and I'm open to talking." And if you're worried about your English, remember that people are often more understanding than you think. They appreciate the effort.
Yeah, and don't forget to breathe. Sometimes we hold our breath when we're nervous. Just take a deep breath before you speak. It really helps to calm your nerves. So, we've opened the conversation. How do we keep it going beyond the initial sentence?
This is where active listening comes in. Listen to what the other person says. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Hear their response, and then use that to form your next question or comment. If they say, "Yeah, this coffee is amazing. I come here every morning," you could say, "Oh, really? Do you live nearby?"
That's a classic follow-up. It shows you were listening and you're interested. It's about finding common ground. Maybe you both like coffee, or you both live in the same area, or you're both waiting for the same bus. These small connections are the building blocks of any good conversation.
Right. And don't be afraid to share a little bit about yourself, but keep it brief and relevant to the conversation. If they ask, "What brings you here?" you could say, "I'm visiting from out of town," or "I just moved here for work." It opens up new avenues for them to ask you questions too.
It's a give and take, isn't it? Not an interrogation. And remember, it's okay if a conversation is short. Not every interaction needs to turn into a lifelong friendship. Sometimes, a quick, pleasant exchange is all that's meant to be, and that's a success in itself.
Totally. Think of it as practice. Every time you try, you get a little better, a little more comfortable. It's like building a muscle. And speaking of getting better, if you're enjoying this episode and finding these tips helpful, please remember to hit that subscribe button wherever you listen to podcasts. It really helps us keep bringing you great content like this.
Yes, please do subscribe. We love hearing from you. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes or things to avoid when trying to start conversations.
Good point. One big one is not listening, as we mentioned. Another is asking too many closed-ended questions, the ones that only need a yes or no answer. This makes the conversation stop dead very quickly.
And asking overly personal questions too soon. Things like, "Are you married?" or "How much money do you make?" are generally off limits for initial conversations with strangers. Stick to lighter, more general topics.
Definitely. Also, don't hog the conversation. It's not a monologue. Make sure there's room for the other person to speak. If you find yourself talking for a long time, ask them a question to bring them back into it.
And try not to apologize for your English. Many learners start with, "Sorry for my English." Don't do that. You're making an effort, and that's fantastic. Own it. Most native speakers will appreciate your attempt.
That's a huge one, Alice. Be proud you're even trying. What if the conversation doesn't go anywhere, though? How do you gracefully exit?
The graceful exit. It's as important as the graceful entry. You can say something like, "Well, it was really nice chatting with you, but I need to get going now," or "I should probably let you get back to what you were doing. Have a great day."
Simple, polite, and clear. No need for elaborate excuses, just a quick thank you and a friendly goodbye. It leaves a good impression. So for our listeners who might be feeling a little overwhelmed, what's your top tip for getting started, Alice?
My top tip is to start small. Don't aim for a deep, philosophical discussion right away. Just aim for a simple, one-sentence interaction. Maybe just a "Good morning" to your neighbor or a "Hello" to the cashier. Build up from there. Consistency is key.
I love that. Start with a tiny step. My tip would be to prepare a few simple, general openers in your head, like, Wow, this weather, huh? Or, that's a nice bag. Just having a few go-to phrases ready can reduce that initial anxiety.
Oh, that's smart. A little mental toolkit. And remember, not every person you try to talk to will want a conversation, and that's okay. It's not a reflection on you or your English. Just move on to the next opportunity.
Exactly. Don't take it personally. The goal is the practice, not necessarily to make a new best friend every time. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and the less you'll even think about it.
Right. So, to sum it up, smile, use situational openers, ask open-ended questions, listen actively, share a little about yourself, and don't be afraid to make a graceful exit. And most importantly, just try.
Fantastic summary, Alice. That's a lot of really practical advice for everyone out there. We really hope this episode gives you the courage to go out there and start those conversations. It's truly one of the best ways to improve your English and enrich your life.
It absolutely is. So get out there, smile, and start chatting. You've got this. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Captain English podcast.
And thank you for listening. We'll be back next time with more tips and tricks to help you become a confident English speaker. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep speaking. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye for now.